Am I the bum hole for refusing to allow a photo of my future MIL's miscarriages at my wedding? Trigger warning, miscarriage stillbirth. I am planning my wedding to my fiancé in a few months. Everything is going great and I love him so much. I can't wait to spend my life with him. He loves my family, and I, for the most part, love his. A bit of background, fiancé has a much older brother. While my future MIL was pregnant 3 times in between them, all of them resulted in late miscarriages and stillbirths. As a result, MIL put all of her motherly love and attention on fiancé. He had never tried a fruit or vegetable before I met him because his parents never made him when he was young and he had grown up assuming they were gross. As we were planning our guest list, we consulted our families about which, and how many, relatives we should invite. Future MIL asked that we invite fiancé's dead brother and sisters. When we asked what she meant, she wanted us to put up a framed photo of the dead babies in the pews at our wedding ceremony, and then save them seats at our reception. I was horrified. First of all, we are trying to have a fairly small wedding to start with, and a beautiful, intimate venue. We can only have seats for 30 to 50 people, and I would like these places to be for our friends and family, not people who have never met either of us because they are dead. Fiancé agrees that 3 of 50 seats reserved for dead people is too many. He suggested we compromise and just let MIL put up all 3 photos in one seat. Personally, I think it's gross and weird to include any of them. We're starting our lives together. We want to have a family and it almost seems like a bad omen, but it means a lot to her and it's a fairly small ask. Fiancé's parents are paying for 75% of our wedding, and this is the only request she's had. So am I the bum hole for still refusing? Made a couple and their baby move seats. Am I the bum hole? So me and my husband went to the movies for this big action release. He'd really been looking forward to this movie, so I bought us tickets online in advance exactly where he likes to sit. When we got to the theater it was crowded and the first trailer had started, but as we scanned the sea of people we realized the seats we reserved were full. Right in the middle, halfway up, our seats were occupied by a young woman and man with an under 1-year-old baby in their arms. We tried looking for other seats, but the only ones available were right up on the screen and my least favorite spot to sit. My husband moved to speak with the couple, but when asked to move so we could sit in the seats we paid for, the woman got loud and told us to sit somewhere else. They'd paid for their tickets just like us and got there early to get good seats. To say I was irate is an understatement. I showed her my phone screen which clearly showed she was sitting in our seats and she shrugged her shoulders and told us to make her move. At this point we were making a scene and upsetting the other moviegoers. Telling my husband I'd be right back, I went and got an attendant, claiming I needed his help finding our seats. When he came to our section he asked the man and woman to move as the seats they were in had been reserved by us and their seats, according to the tickets they showed him to prove they did buy tickets, were at the front of the theater. The woman huffed, but packed up her kids' stuff and they moved to their seats. We got some side-eye and ugly mumbles about making a baby move. It was a freaking rated-R movie, but ultimately enjoyed the movie. My husband asked me later if I felt I had went overboard, if we should have just bought new tickets for another time. I told him no, the whole point of buying the tickets online was to get decent seats without having to be there super early. He feels making a family with a young child move. Am I the bum hole? Am I the bum hole for changing the chores unilaterally since my husband wants the boys to stand to urinate? Our house has 3 bathrooms. The ensuite is basically mine. All of my products are in there and it's where I do my business. My husband also uses it, but not for much more than brushing his teeth, grabbing a glass of water, or a midnight pee. The main bathroom is the one my husband and 3 kids use. The half bath on the main floor is mostly for guests and washing up before meals. After we potty trained our sons, I kept making sure that they were sitting to pee. They are young and don't really care. They can use a urinal when we are out somewhere. My brother-in-law was over last month and saw my oldest boy in the bathroom by accident. My sons don't lock the bathroom door yet because they don't want to get locked in. Yes, I know they are easy to open. But after one got locked in and had a panic attack, it is just easier for now. Anyways, my brother-in-law made a joke about my son not stinking up the bathroom. My son told him that he was just peeing. For some reason my BIL took offense at this and started bugging my husband about his son sitting to pee. My husband then started telling the boys that if they are only peeing that they should stand. They boys don't have great aim, but they make up for it with a short attention span. When I went in the bathroom after a few days of that, it was gross. I turned around and walked out. When my husband got home, I told him that he picked up a new chore. He now has to clean the toilets, floors, and walls in the bathrooms the boys are using. He said that it wasn't his turn. I said it was his idea for the boys to stand to pee, so he had to deal with the consequences. He did it, but he is upset about me unilaterally making this decision. Like he did about the boys. Am I the bum hole for yelling "mind your freaking business" to a woman after she said "what a weirdo" to me? Hello everyone. I, 29 female, am a single mother of a 4-year-old. Extra info: her father died when she was only 1, so I've been raising her by myself with some help from my family. I've also breastfed her until she turned 2 years and 3 months. Kissing is a very colossal form of love in my family. I still kiss both my parents on the lips to this day because I'm still comfortable doing so as an adult. I kiss my daughter on the lips all the time and she loves it. She will giggle and grab my face to plant a big wet kiss on my lips, and it's one of those parenting moments that I cherish and enjoy. So earlier today I was at the mall with my daughter and she wanted me to pick her up, so I did, and she did the face grab and kiss while giggling. Some woman about 10 feet away said "what a weirdo" while looking in my direction. I asked, "Excuse me?" I wasn't sure if she was talking to me. She said, "You're a disgusting weirdo," and when she was walking away I yelled "mind your freaking business and get a life," and just walked off before I did something I would later regret. When I told one of my sisters what happened, she said that my reaction was too rude because it's possible that the woman just never had any affection from her parents, so she's never been exposed to that sort of love. So I don't know, was my action justified? Or was I a bum hole? Am I the bum hole for telling my kids the real reason me and their father are divorced? I, 38 female, have a 15, 12, 9, and 6-year-old daughters. Me and their father got a divorce when my youngest was just 2 years old. My ex-husband had an affair with my sister, 35 female. My ex-husband and my sister had been sneaking behind my back, and I had found out when I came home early from my shift. They gave me every excuse in the books. I had waited it out for the sake of my kids to see if my ex-husband would stop. 6 months later the affair was still going, so I served my ex with divorce papers. But here's the real thing: my sister, aka my daughter's stepmom, had been telling my daughters how I was the one who broke up the marriage. I found this out when my 6-year-old daughter came up to me crying, asking why I broke her family up. I was so confused, so I asked her more questions. She told me how my sister had been saying I cheated on their father and more bulls. Hush. I had called the rest of my daughters downstairs and asked them to tell me what their stepmom had been saying. They proceeded to tell me everything. So I had told my daughters the truth. I could tell they didn't believe me at first until I told them to ask their grandparents and father what had really happened. My daughters had went back to their father's house this past weekend when I had got a call from him calling me all types of names in the book and him asking if I wanted to ruin him and our daughter's relationship. He hung, and no less than 10 minutes later my phone was being blown up calling me all the names in the book and saying how I'm a bad mother. So am I the bum hole?